first set of the day will be played on Newkirk. Our blue Zerg player from Evil Genius's Team Liquid is spawning in the bottom left. His name is Zenio. Can he get his first ZvT win today?
His opponent spawns in the bottom right-hand position, playing for Kespa teammate. The TBZ monster from Kespa teammate, his name is Cure. The Orange Terran.
That's not his nickname. He's actually just the Orange Terran right now.
Yeah. I said Kespa teammate so many times that I didn't want to repeat myself.
Well, you know, you can always say it 5 or 6 times in a row. Then it just becomes ironic.
That is true.
Or annoying, depending on who you're talking to.
Yeah, I guess so.
So, you know, Zenio, he did show overall pretty solid play against SOS. I feel like he was just a little bit outmatched, though. I think against a player like Cure, even though Cure is a solid player overall, he's not on the same level as SOS, and I think Zenio, if he comes with that same level of preparedness, or maybe something even a little bit better against Cure than SOS, there is a possibility of him getting the match here and winning.
Well, I do get the point that you're making, but you also have to count the fact that Cure is a monster in this matchup, especially recently. He took out players like Soki.
Yeah.
And he did it in a style where his opponent couldn't do anything before he typed GG. Yeah. So Zenio, yes, he's playing someone who is not as powerful as SOS, but he still needs to be on top of his game to win the game today. Yeah,
I totally agree with you. The key here is Zenio being on top of his game and not trying to go for some type of like Roach all-in Knives-Storm or something. We do see Zenio go for that play occasionally, and I hope that he goes for something either go for a cheesy or all-in style build order, or he just tries to play a very solid overall macro game and just really focus on using his fundamentals, and hopefully have been practicing them a lot in the practice house as well.
Yeah, I'm just surprised throughout the whole season, Cure was a guy who made a splash in the scene. He took out Jadong in that match on Acklon, not Acklon, but
Scrap Station, or
not Scrap Station, but you know which map I'm talking about. There's a 4-player map.
For some reason,
with the same tile set as Scrap Station.
I really dislike that map, so I blocked it out of my memory.
Yeah, well, he did fantastic on that map, and we saw Cure do amazing in TBC matchup with amazing multitasking abilities. Yeah. And we've been talking about this for a while. When Cure moved to Heart of the Swarm, we thought he was going to do amazing, especially with boosters and Hellbats, but he didn't do so well until recently when he started utilizing Hellbats a lot more.
Yeah, and now if we look at the opening here from Cure, he's going for 2 Reapers, going to follow that up, of course, with a Command Center. Zenio opening up pretty normal as well. He's going to have some gas early on for that fast lane speed. And the thing to point out about Cure's play is he likes to play aggressive early on, but he doesn't overcommit to the aggression. And then after that, he'll go into macro mode, and then he will just start dropping you like nuts.
Yeah, the key point to aggression in this in game of Starcraft is you have to make sure you have to put enough pressure on your opponent, but you also cannot overcommit to it unless you're trying to finish the game, which then becomes an all-in instead of a pressure.
Yeah. I also want to point out Cure he's doing a pretty good job of harassing here, but Zenio on top of his game hasn't lost a single unit to these Reapers, but the second one being added to that first Reaper could change things. A few drones are going to end up falling here, and Zenio is going to have to bring those back and save them. So only losing 1 drone. Cure getting another Command Center behind this as well, following it up with the Reactor Hellion build.
And the key point is there's up to 3 Reapers right now, and the Reapers, they regen so fast in Heart of the Swarm that up to 3 Reapers right now, if he brings the 3rd Reaper over here, then he could actually fight the Queen head-on as long as he micros perfectly.
Zenio, though, his Zergling speed about to finish. He's got a handful of Zerglings here as well, so I don't think these Reapers are actually going to end up doing any kind of critical damage. Actually, only 1 drone was lost. This was actually a great trade here for Zenio.
Yeah, he actually microed those hurt drones really well, just pulling back the ones that are hurt, and also sometimes turning them into extractor. Yes, 1 was taken out, but 1 for the cost of 3 Reapers from his opponent. Very nice.
Yeah, not bad at all. Cure, though, to his credit, does not lose any of those Reapers. Zenio, as a response, is going to go ahead and get, I believe, a fast 3rd base here, and there he goes. Making that 3rd hatchery is going to be able to eventually see the 3rd Command Center about to finish here. Also, Armory on the way from Cure. The 3rd Command Center looks like it's going to get missed here. But Zenio, he's already getting a 3rd base, so it's not a big deal. The important thing is that he sees that Armory, but that Overlord is going to miss pretty much everything here. Spots the Starport, though, so that's at least going to give him an idea of when potential drops are going to head his way.
Yeah, so once he sees the Starport, he should actually scout around the right bottom side just in case, but Zenio not getting a confirmation. He is still going to get the Roach Warren up just in case for the helmet drops. And usually the Zerg players these days in this particular matchup, they make up to 6 or 7 Roaches, even if the opponent does not go for Hellbats.
Yeah, and I like getting the Roaches early on. They're good for defense. And unfortunately, Zenio losing a few creep timbers there could have, well, I guess he couldn't really do anything about that, but the starport is going to land over here on that reactor. Hellbat's on the way.
So now it's up to Zenio to defend against the helmet drops. We see some fantastic defense from some of the Zerg players out there. Other players not reacting so well. Loses a lot of drones behind it. One of the players being Soki against Cure.
Well, we do have a few spines and spores on the way. Zenio looks like he's completely prepared for this style of play, and it is really what a lot of Terran players have been doing nowadays.
Yeah, the Zerg players, they need the spore and the spine crawler to make sure that they snipe the medevac as soon as possible, and the spine crawler is eventually going to take out the spine crawler inside, Hellbats, excuse me, inside the main base. The problem is, how many drones is Zenio going to lose?
That is really the key question here. If Zenio can kill off all of the drops without losing too many workers, he's going to be in a fantastic position mid-game, but the issue is we have 2 Hellbat drops now on the way from Cure. It looks like one wants to go to the third base and the other to the main. We'll see if they regroup or not yet. Looks like they're going to diverge. There's 3 Queens already at the natural. At the same time, Hellions are going to move in here, and I don't know if 3 Queens will be enough on the defense. Ooh, the medevac, actually, it's going to go straight to the natural.
Yeah, well, inside the main base, there is a spore crawler, but he needs to pull the drones away. Not so great reaction time for Zenio as he's focused on the natural. No, it seems like the drones are just mining right now.
Zenio, okay, there he goes. He's finally pulling away those units. The Roaches in the main base easily take care of the Hellions, and only 9 have been killed. That's still actually not bad. Saving one of the medevacs just barely here.
Yeah, and Zenio is on top of his game. Remember the 3 Queens at the third base? He knows that his opponent wants to go for the Hellion at the same time with the Hellbats inside the main base. That's the reason why these Queens cannot go anywhere. Behind this Cure gets up to 3 command center, and he needs to make sure he actually defends this really well because his opponent is playing as greedy as possible.
Very smart snipes off the medevac before going after those Hellbats. And I think he may have... I don't even think he lost any drones there. Okay, I guess he lost one.
But what's fantastic from Zenio's play is he didn't overcommit to the Roaches to defend against the Hellbats. Instead, he was getting his tech up, he was droning up heavily behind it, so even if he loses a few drones here and there, he can replenish and saturate on 3 bases as soon as possible once again. He did lose up to around 12 drones, but he's still at 56 right now.
Cure has taken a supply lead here, so to his credit, he is ahead in the game right now. These extra Hellbats here could change the tide even more, though. We have up to 10 Roaches out, and this Hellbat drop looking a lot scared than the previous one, and the drones getting stacked up there. Oh, losing a lot of drones there. That was terrible for Zenio. Down to 49 drones, and we have a double Hellbat drop now in the natural, but fast reaction time from Zenio, only losing a couple of drones there to his credits.
Now the drone count is only down to 52 after he droned up heavily. And the biggest problem with all of this from Zenio is that yes, he had enough Roaches, but he doesn't have any spine crawlers inside the main base or the natural.
I'm actually really concerned. Why hasn't he decided to get any spine crawlers here? It's proven that they are a really great deterrent to the Hellbats. And the Roaches are doing their job, but the problem is a lot of extra drones have been kicked off here. Up to 30 workers killed. You do not ever want that against a Terran player.
Yeah, and if the Terran player was only sitting on 2 bases, I would say it's okay because the Zerg player can drone up faster than the Terran player, but Cure opened up with 3 command center before going for the Hellbats. That's the biggest problem right now. If you look at the minimap right now, Cure is secured up to 3 bases. He has up to 69 SCVs mining from 3 bases. He has tanks coming out. He has more workers than the Zerg player right now.
I really like that he has a tank on the high ground. He's also got the Marauders. Look at the base layout, the Sim City here. Cure, he's been playing better and better every time I see him.
He did study the last TVC that was played on this map where the Zerg player said, you know what, screw it, I'm going to go for a bust. So that's the reason why he has bunkers over there, because he knows that that's the only thing Zenio can go for right now to possibly win the game. If not, then he knows that he's going to have such a huge advantage going to the mid-game to the late game.
Hellions moving by here, going to get a few extra workers from the looks of things, but these units will pick them off. If we look at the upgrades tab here, we have the +2 armor about to finish for Zenio. He's also going for the +2 melee attack. Cure actually uncharacteristically behind on his upgrades, just going for the 1-1 right now. Both are around halfway done. He is getting the +1 attack for his mech units as well, though. Also focusing, it looks like combat shields just finished as well.
And now Zenio's making it up to 7 mutas right now, but there is a drop point inside the main base. He wants to use the mutas to defend against the Medivacs, but will they be out of time? And can Zenio spot the Medivacs going inside the main base?
Yeah, this is the big issue here. That's a lot of Medivacs. We have 3 Medivacs and an additional 4th one on the way as well. The mutas, though, they are going to spot this drop. This is actually really good for Zenio. He knows about this drop. Kier won't be able to go into the main base and cause a critical amount of damage. These additional units here are going to easily kill off these this lone marauder and the 2 marines for free. Don't know why Kier wanted to keep those there.
I like how Zenio's not overcommitting to the mutas right now, because usually some players against the Terran players, they get tons of mutas out, trying to go for maybe base area scenario or trying to get a lot of SCVs. But because Kira has been sitting on 3 bases for a long time, he's making up to 10 marines at the same time, while he's also getting a marauder out. So going for the base race not going to be possible, because once the Zerg mutas start attacking the SCVs over there, like I said, the marines can deter, and the turrets can eat away on the mutas easily. So it's better for Zenio to get only up to maybe around 10 mutas just to defend against the Medivacs while trying to get some different tech out. A lot of Bailings and a lot of Zerglings fighting against, but that's a lot of siege tanks.
Look at the supply count as well, 193 to 166. I don't think Zenio can actually engage this army. He needs a lot more units if he wants to actually fight head on here.
Yeah, and now, because of this, Cure can get into a perfect position on top of that ramp over there. So now it's harder for Zenio to actually push up in this area, while look at this Cure. He's even going for harassment at the 4th base, and Zenio can't defend against that.
He's going to try to move in here, but the problem is the Baneling's getting obliterated by those siege tanks. It feels like Wings of Liberty, TVC style, over and over again.
Whoa,
but look at this!
The perfect micro from Cure as the Banelings are connected to every single bio units over here.
Well, at the same time, though, the 4th base under fire. Zenio will be able to clean up the main army here, so definitely a better engagement from him. But the Marine reinforcement it's going to be very dangerous here, up to 43 Marines. Zenio still behind in supply, but he's definitely evened out things a lot.
Yeah, the key point is he got all the siege tanks except one, and now he's slowing down his opponent little by little. And the Zerglings are swarming in right now. Is that going to be enough?
There's no Widow Mines. The Zerglings are going to be able to reign free here, and those Marines are just getting absolutely torn apart. The Thor going to fall as well. Zenio, he's managed to turn this game around.
Well, hold on for a second. There's still a lot of bioforces coming out from Cure. He still has 3 base economy, getting a 4 command center behind this, so he still has amazing economy flowing through right now. So Zenio, he's doing a nice job defending, but he just cannot push out yet. This is all he can do. He's transitioning into swarm mode, so he just needs to buy enough time to get those units out, while also getting the high tech out and going for the +3/+3.
Yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself.
So now he's going to try to go for a run by towards the 4th base, trying to scare away the command center over there, and he's doing a nice job over there since there aren't any turrets over here or any bunker over here to defend against the Zerglings.
Alright, the Zerglings going to go away now. The mutas, we're able to pick off the Medivac segment away. The Banelings rolling over here, trying to kill off a lot of the SCVs. I thought that was perfect reaction time, but, well, alright, you got a few of the workers there, but overall not the biggest deal. Oh, the Zerglings running over here once again with the mutas to deny that 4th base.
This is really risky, but also nice from Zenio, because now this is a Terran player who wants to move out on the map, who is nearly maxed out and wants to start slowly eating away on Zerg's bases. But because Zenio has all the Zerglings and mutas over there, Cure cannot push out on the map. Maybe he could send 1 Medivac towards the main base, but also he needs to double check where the mutas are before the Medivacs can actually go inside the main base.
Zenio also picking up his 5th base right now, and these swarm hosts are going to be doing a really good job at just kind of annoying Kier and prevent him from pushing out as fast as possible. Kier following this up, going to try to go for a double drop. No, the swarm host out of position.
This is the reason why you don't move out with the swarm host. And also there's a double Medivac going inside the main base. I don't think Zenio saw that with the Locust that he had earlier in the game.
Alright, well, at least if most of the swarm hosts do end up surviving here. The Zerglings, though, excellent run by from Zenio is going to pick off a lot of those SCVs there. The drop easily deflected. This Zenio, man, he is playing amazing this game.
That was actually a curious mistake. He should have dropped every single unit except one of the Medivac got caught out of position with all the units inside it.
And I mean, completely ready in case anything comes here, but Kira now sieging this third expansion, and he's in an excellent position. Siege tanks on the high ground are going to force, yeah, it looks like Zenio, he's going to evacuate this area. He knows that his positioning is almost, it's just a terrible position to be in here.
Yeah, well, he is securing another base on the top 12 o'clock position right now, so all he has to do is run the drones away over there while fortifying the position so that Kira cannot move forward in that particular position.
Indeed. All right, looks like upgrade-wise, Zenio, he's getting all of his Hive upgrades now, getting the Ultralisk armor, +3 attack and carapace, very close to being completed as well. Another double drop going into the main base of Zenio. Does he have enough units here to defend? Looks like there isn't really much there, and we have a few additional bio units running towards that top base as well from Zenio. Now bringing in the reinforcements, the mutas are going to focus fire down these medevacs, and oh, look at that, the Banelings connecting perfectly with all of those Marines.
But because the units are inside the main base, now Kira is going to attack the fourth base up there.
Yep, and there's not much here to defend. The main bulk of Kira's army, though, is going to retreat. Ultras are now out. They're going to be revealed as well to Kira. He has no choice but to run away those Marines. They will eventually fall. Zenio's creep spread is alright this game. It could be a little bit better, but you know, at least he's covering most of his side of the map.
And also think about this, his opponent was trying to play aggressive as possible, always denying the creep spread. So that's the only reason why we only see the creep halfway up the map. Now Kira's going to try to go towards the 12 o'clock position. Secures it right now with the siege tanks. Is Zenio going to attack into this, or is he just going to try to buy more time with the Zergling run-by?
Excellent. I already love this attack from Zenio. He's going for a Zergling run-by, and he's going to pretty much pick off any reinforcements. This is going to force Kira out of position. The Zergling's running towards the third base. They're going to kill a lot of you. So the natural also under fire. Zenio doing a great job with these Zergling run-bys, now getting some infestors behind this as well as the +3 range attack, building another hatchery, rebuilding that third base, and Zenio, man, he is playing amazing.
The almost gets picked off as Kira does not pay attention until the very last second. Now, Kira, he does have a lot of seasons over there, so it's hard for Zenio to engage into that position. But what Zenio's been doing fantastic throughout the whole game is cutting off a lot of SCVs with the Zergling run-bys and the Baneling run-bys. And +3/+3 is still not out of the way for a Terran player from Kira.
Yeah, that's a huge disadvantage that Kira has right now. The third command center falls. The mutas do an amazing job at picking those off. More Zergling run-bys going to the third base here, and at the same time, the Swarm hosts, they're constantly attacking this main forward force from Kira, and Zenio is going to move in with the Banelings, the mutas, the Ultralisks, and alright, Zenio's going to back up.
That's too many siege tanks. That's too many siege tanks. It's too early for Zenio to engage into that.
He's got almost a maxed out army now.
And Zenio's doing a fantastic job. You know what's funny? Kira, he secured this position, but he couldn't move forward for the past 5 minutes when he had this position. And Kira, his goal was to try to attack the 12 o'clock base, which is what he's doing right now, but he should have done this 5 minutes ago. Zenio did a nice job trying to buy enough time.
Here he goes, Ultras moving in. The infestors behind them. Where are the fungals? And, you know, I would love to see a double-pronged attack, but I don't know if it even matters. There's so much Zerg here. The siege tanks in the back doing a great job, though. They will be able to prevent the Zerg flare from moving through and destroying the rest of these units. With the Swarm hosts, their Locusts not really doing too much damage, despite the flanking from another side. Zenio is still about 20 supply ahead of his opponent, however, and he's certainly ahead in economy.
Oh yeah, definitely ahead in economy. That's the reason why, even after killing few siege tanks, he just stores his opponent's army. The mutas over here, and does the fungal go down, only catches a couple of mutas over here as he does defend the attack once again.
Alright, Zenio trying to prevent these units from moving forward too much. That's still, though, the siege tank line is very dangerous and something that's going to be very hard to deal with Zenio. And also, the hatchery over here, it's getting shelled. It's starting to go low on health. A few transfusions hit that. But this Bioforce here, Zenio, he needs to get a fungal down and pick off those Marauders before they're going to be able to pick off that hatchery.
Well, not that many Zerglings over to support the army either, because there's not that many bio units, which means that he can take out these units with pure Zerglings as long as he has knights around. But he didn't have enough time to get the Zerglings out.
As unfortunately the third base ends up falling. Here going to try to do his best to equalize this game. But Zenio, he is maxed out, and is he going to move forward? It looks like he's still very hesitant to make that happen. I'd love to see a flank from Zenio, you know, attack from two sides. Time and time again, that has proven to be one of the best ways to deal with these tank composition armies.
Ultras from the left, Zerglings streaming from the bottom. This is going to be the right answer, but Zenio was focusing too much on the Zergling run-by spike. He's going to go for an attack right now.
Siege tanks barreling forward there. They're going to be able to pick off a lot of those siege tanks here. Swarm host, Locust is behind. I think Zenio may be able to just barely break this siege tank line. He's going to move back with the majority of his units, though, saving the infestors. But the problem is, Cure, his economy is pretty much run dry.
Yes, and that's the reason why we didn't see Zerglings in the main army. You said you want to see a sandwich from the two sides. Well, the other Zerglings were attacking the SCVs over there. Yes, he could have won the battle decisively, but he has a bigger picture right now. Just make sure my opponent does not have any SCVs to mine the minerals from. And the key point right now, look at the income between the two players. Our blue Zerg player from EGTL has 3 times more minerals and gas flowing in right now.
Look at the worker difference as well. 72 drones to 39. Zenio also taking an additional expansion behind this. It looks like he wants to go for a few Overlord drops in the main. If he can destroy his opponent's economy, that's going to be game. Zenio also starting the spread creep once again here. Here, he has no choice. He has to play defensive at this point. He needs to recover his army. He's down to 117 supply compared to the 178 of his opponent.
And Zenio also did a fantastic job saving the Swarmos throughout the whole game. Yes, the Swarmos didn't deal that much damage throughout the whole game, but it did eat away on the bio units at the 12 o'clock position, and some siege tanks little by little just putting Cure out of position so that he couldn't move forward. And look at this, the locals are attacking a little bit again over at the fort base over there. You know, it's not going to kill the command center at all because there's a lot of siege tanks over there, but it's certainly putting a nice pressure against our Terran player from Kespa teammate.
I feel like the Swarmos are kind of like Zenio's insurance policy.
Yes.
And, you know, when he's like, oh crap, I don't have a lot of units left, I need this insurance policy.
Oh, here is a drop inside the main base.
Zergling drop in the main, but the Overlords, Cure thinks they're a fake, but the Zenio's saying, nope, they're actually real, and I'm going to drop some lings in your main base now. And doing this, he may be able to actually supply block his opponent. Zenio now moving forward with the main bulk of his army, doing a mini flank with the Swarmos as well. Going to pick off a few additional units here for free. Love that play. The Zerglings running forward here. The adrenal glands are going to be able to just tear through these buildings so fast, and Cure now supply blocked.
Man, I can hear so many fans screaming right now, where are the Widow Mines from Cure? We said this in the past, even looking at it right now, is pure bio and siege tank. A Wings of Liberty style play from Cure, and Zenio is utilizing every single unit that Heart of the Swarm has to offer for certain players.
The Swarm hosts, the Vipers, you know, just completely synergizing his entire army here. We have a drop from Cure, but moving over to his opponent's main base, but I'm not sure if that's really going to do much. We have a maxed out Zerg army to the 136 supply of a Terran, and Blinding Cloud goes down. This is why you don't want to get siege tanks in Heart of the Swarm. Additional Blinding Clouds go down. The Infestors fumbling everything. Cure forced the move back into his natural of his main army. Zenio not going to overcommit. He's done an amazing job at, you know, pushing forward and then pulling back before losing too much of his army the entire game. Such excellent control from Zenio.
No overcommitment whatsoever from Zenio. He knew what to do. When I have to defend, I have to defend. When I have to attack and press forward a little bit, I'll do it little by little, making sure that I'm not going to overcommit and destroy all my units with one misstep. The third command center goes down once again, and the fourth is on the fire by Cure. He's doing a double-pronged attack right now.
This is doing an excellent job at hurting the economy of Zenio, but look at his resources right now. He's up to 3.5k minerals, 3.5k gas. It's ridiculous, and the supply is still 113 to 180. You know, this is annoying, but Zenio, as long as he remains stalwart and doesn't fumble and doesn't, you know, make a huge mistake with his engagements, he will eventually just straight up win. He's going to be able to harass this top base over here, and Cure, he's backed up all the way to his main base. These queens now have managed to spread the creep over to his opponent's side of the map.
Yeah, well, Zenio also needs to be careful right now because these Marines killed a lot of drones at the total buckets. In fact, he took out the hatchery over there and killed a lot of tech buildings inside the main base, so now Zenio needs to wait a little bit longer before he has reinforcements coming out.
I would like to see Zenio do a little bit better job at defending against these attacks super late in the game. It feels like he has his entire army at the front and doesn't want to commit to any defenses. A lone Ultra now looks like that'll be able to finish off these units here. One Marine does escape in the medevac. That's one lucky Marine, man.
And I have to say, Zenio right now, he says 2 Marines over there are killing a lot of drones. Well, I could use more of the supply of my units now.
And now with the Vipers full on energy, they're going to go ahead and use Blinding Cloud on the siege tanks. That's going to prevent them from shooting at long range. And every single tank now bungles down as well on the main bulk of the army. The Ultra's running through here with the Banelings going to connect with everything. And Zenio simply overrunning his opponent. Cure, He had a great advantage early on in the game, but Zenio's control has been just completely phenomenal and stellar this game. Our Terran player, he's going to be forced to tap out.
The first Widow Mine is finally out. Doesn't kill an Ultra, but does not kill the Zerglings, which is what Widow Mines are used for in this matchup.
GG! Zenio breaking his losing streak, winning his first ZvT game in Pro League, and actually pretty impressive play overall from him, man. I am actually impressed.
That was fantastic play from Zenio, and he had the concept really well. Just defend until I get a lot of hatcheries, a lot of economy to myself while going for a constant Zergling harassment.
Yeah, man, you can tell that he's been practicing a lot, and it certainly paid off in that game. That's not the Zenio we saw a few months ago, man. This is the new and improved Zenio. I want to see him refine himself a little bit more, get more confidence, and play better in Pro League. So the score, 1-0 with Evil Genius's Team Liquid ahead of Kesper teammates. The next match is going to be Hero versus Czech on Whirlwind. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this commercial break.